to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Kinda man listen to the radio in pieces and then it's a free country. Not when you're testimony. You're fucking telling the court that you heard a bang when you fucking blasting your music in your ears. You need to believe it where the witness says what he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. But it was the DJ's talking. That's probably how he said, like, in between each sentence or word. Your Honor, the witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshots. DJ. Dude. DJ, come on. An announcer, the guy who says the things on the radio. Anyway. What this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. I can't believe continuing this charade. Yeah, we gotta press him on that. What did he say? Why do you remember it so clearly? Press him on why he was alone on Christmas. I'm sure I heard the gunshots. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard you. What was he saying? What did he say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said to it do us? Right, DJ said do us. Is that a typing? Is that typo? What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Said do us. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't know what I'm doing. Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. I mean, it probably wouldn't matter. But I feel like it matters. Just because, the day, you know, it happened on Christmas Eve or whatever. We should care. That's our knowledge so far. But what if this is like, oh, it's like a week from Christmas, you know, like probably wouldn't happen, but like, you know, we should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask him? Very well, but please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshots? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. One gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happens. So you turned on the radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve alone. I just wanted to see what he said after that. For that. Alright. I'll show you to see. Where's it? Her gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ is saying. I heard it too. When she said, hey, it's almost Christmas. 6, still 6, parrot. Oh, we still have the metal detector. There it is. Yeah, just after midnight, 12, after midnight, almost Christmas. It's not, it's 12:24 still. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Yeah, if you're trying not to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Something that matter, right? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshots. And almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case. But that contradicts the two testimonies you've heard so far. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, When they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order. What does that mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, the witness says she heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Look at him. Suspicious. What? Oh, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Buzz's claim when he heard the gunshot before midnight? Yeah, he's not mistaken. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me the evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Shit. Have a favorite saying? I'd like to share it with the court. Youth and stupidity go hand in hand. I'll show you how. In other words, I picked the wrong evidence to show him. I can tell from your face you haven't learned your what? What? 12:25. Oh. Oops. I didn't read the top part. Here. Look at the photograph. It's taken as by a witness yesterday, Mr. Loudhart, with an automatic camera. Timestamp on the photo, December 24th, 11:50. And it snaps pictures every time it bangs. There's a bang. And there's nothing on the lake in the picture, but there's a gunshot. Not why nothing is shown in the photograph, it's why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera was set to go off in response to the loud noise. This is decisive evidence from last time. Correct. This was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. Now it's our decisive evidence for this time why the photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard the gunshot, it was most definitely Christmas Eve. It would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshot after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It's the fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were two sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. And that's why that makes sense, because there's 3 bullets, 3 shots from the gun. Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera set to respond to loud noises. There's no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why the witness could have sneezed triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear. Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Yeah, the pistol. I was just talking about it 3 times. This is my evidence, the murder weapon. Something about the pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That the 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. It wasn't the last one, it was the first one. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen the night on the lake. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes, one at 11:50 and 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you why? Oh, better think of something quickly. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. What's wrong, Nick? I have it. I have it. Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya, yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch and I'm going to run with it. I mean, is this safe? Safe. We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just said that. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? Testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth, and there can be no other murderer than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was at the lake. This was shown by a witness's photograph. The defendant Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on the boat. There was a gunshot fired on the boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It can have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be a man on the boat. I admit it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence at the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo, it says 15, but Larry heard the gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot was on the lake. The only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who this is sitting on the boat. It was Edgeworth and the murderer. Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of that Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. Tell us your fucking name, old man. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Caretaker of the boat shop? Where did you do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out to the lake just to shoot someone? Might I suggest the real scene of the crime was not in a boat? Well then, where did the murder take place? And show the judge where the murder really took place. The boat shop itself, I guess. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. The way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Do I have proof of that? I don't know if I do. I don't think so. Yeah, I definitely don't. Really, you call Larry's testimony, if you will. That night he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. And then just as he's starting to head home, he hears a gunshot. Heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned the boat? Boat shop. I guess I do. What happened that night on Yord Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. It's around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coats. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got into the boat with Edgeworth and went into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on that boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was a murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. Create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. It ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps in the boat himself. From the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. See, so someone looking for the edge of the lake. It would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once he realized that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the evidence that transpired that night on Yord Lake. Shit. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. Well, the boat shop caretaker, quickly. Yeah, he needs some explaining. Got some explaining to do. Very well, while we are waiting for the caretaker, I'd like to ask Defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said? Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said, it was mostly correct. Astonishingly so accurate, actually, yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. Witnesses disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. He fucking bailed. You left. What should I do? Find him, fucking idiot. You can't allow him to get away. He's running. He's guilty if he's running. If he fucking leaves, that's it. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. Goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict until under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is the boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to the trial. I want him and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Also the last day for DL6. Of course it had to happen like this. Yay, Nick, you did it. Yep. Well, at least we got out of the end of it. Got out from under that guilty verdict. What about Larry? There was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Yeah, he did. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony, still, he did save us. We keep getting saved and saved. We are so lucky. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You can try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but just say it. I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? A nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed. A memory of a murder. Did he? Oh shit, I think I know what happened. Oh fuck. I think I know what he's playing at. Not this specific case, but DL6.